Is it hot where you're at? I know it's hot where I'm at. This is what the temperature was like today. I'm going to show you how I'm helping my horses recover after working in this heat. I'm trying to start earlier in the morning, as early as I can, and then ride till noon or a little after. So we're still riding in the heat, some, trying to make it as easy on the horses as we can, but we do still have to keep getting our body worked. So I'm going to show you my routine that I'm going through to help my horses in training recover after work. We had a little bit of clouds come in. There was some rain off to the southwest. I heard some thundering, but we didn't get any here. We're needing rain really bad, and that also give us a little bit of relief from the heat. We've been having record heat for the last several days. And I've been doing some extra things with the horses that I work, trying to help them recover from the heat. I just worked him and it wasn't as bad as what it's been. This is Lightning. You've seen him in some of my lunging videos that I've done. I just finished working him. I didn't show any of the starting videos. There's some other things that I want to do specifically with him. So you'll be seeing a lot more videos of him coming up. I just finished working him. And one of the things that I'm doing to help the horses recover from being worked is I've been taking these ice packs. It's just regular packs that you put in the freezer or the refrigerator. Get them from Walmart or wherever. I think they're 9 by 12. Fold them in half. When you first start doing this, the horse is going to be a little bit fidgety with their legs, but it doesn't take them long to figure out that they really like that cold. And I'll take a regular polo wrap and wrap the leg. Now when you're wrapping these ice packs, you're not going to get them as neat of a wrap as if you were wrapping like to work, like a standing wrap or something like that. You're not going to be able to get them that neat. All I'm trying to do is get them to hold the ice pack up against the leg. And you notice I'm doing this before I even took the saddle off. I'm trying to help the horse recover from being hot. He's not as hot today from working because we just had that cloud cover come through. Now I'll wrap the other one. And it's just regular polo wraps. And you notice how I'm putting it in the back. I want to get these tendons in the back all the way up to the knee. I want to cool them down. It's basically just like an athlete kind of taking an ice bath after working out. I'm not too worried about it being really pretty. Just want it to hold the ice pack on. It's not going to be on long. I'm not working him anything like that. So I put the ice pack on. I want to make sure that I get down here under the tendons all the way up close to the knee. I want to get that done first. I do that before I even take the saddle off or anything, so I can start helping him cool his body down. It's kind of like if you were to rinse him. You start at the legs. You're supposed to start at the legs, and it helps cool the body down because of the blood flowing through there. Same thing. I'm trying to help him cool down, but I'm also icing those tendons. So now I'll go ahead and take the saddle off. I always rinse my girths. I take them off. I always rinse the girth, and then I hang it up separate. So now that I have the saddle off, you got just a little bit of a dry spot right there. About the same over here. It's not too bad, but it's something to take note of. He's still young, his body's still developing. And as his body develops, his back is gonna change. As he builds more muscle, his back is gonna change. So I wanna make sure I don't put too much pressure right here with the saddle. This is a saddle I've been riding him in. I know it fits him okay. If I would have rode him longer, he'd have had more sweat. I haven't had any dry spots on him. So now I'll go ahead and start rinsing him. I'm still gonna start on the legs. Not worried about getting the polo wraps wet. When I take them off of him, I'll hang them up and use them again on the next horse. I have a couple of sets of the ice wraps, of the ice packs. I keep them in the freezer and I'll swap them out throughout the day. One of the issues that we have in our environment, I'm in the south and we have pretty high humidity as far as what most of the country has. And part of that is when you sweat, like when I sweat, it don't evaporate, you just stay wet. I actually change my clothes like 3 times every day. So when you get a horse wet and he's standing out there sweating, the sweat don't ever evaporate. It just stays on him. And if he's out in the pasture in the sun, that sweat just keeps getting hotter and hotter with the sun shining down on it. And you can actually get a gall, almost like a heat gall, on the horse from the sweat. So I want to make sure I'll rinse every horse when I ride them every day. Rinse that sweat off really good, all over their whole body. I want to make sure I get all of that washed off so that it doesn't aggravate their skin. This time of the year in our part of the country, we have a lot of skin issues. One of the things that I'm really big on when I rinse the horse, I want to rinse under his tail. And then my reining horses, what I'll do is I'll actually pick their leg up and rinse between their thighs. Your reining horses, when you're sliding, you get dirt up in there, and you have dirt in between that skin, and it'll irritate the skin. So I always pick their foot up, kind of open it up, and rinse inside. Feels kind of weird to him at first. He hasn't had that done a whole bunch. Some of my older reining horses that I've done that to a lot, when I get to the back end, they'll actually hold their leg out for me. I guess it feels good. Get them rinsed really good, and then I'll sweat scrape just like normal. And then I'll show you something special that I do. So now that I have him sweat scraped, I keep this rag by the wash rack. And we'll have an issue with flies coming to the horse's eyes, where they get a little bit of tears, or like where the water has run down by the eyes. The flies will start bothering that. And the same way with the nose, the flies will bother that. So what I'm gonna do is I'll take a rag and I'm gonna make sure I wipe around their eyes really good. Get it good and clean so there's no sweat or irritants there. And then I'll wipe their nose. It's funny, some of the horses really like that and some of them don't. So if I was to leave him standing here like this in our humidity, I think we have like 60 or 65% humidity today, it would take him probably 2 hours to dry. If I leave that on him, then his skin is going to stay wet a lot longer than what I would like it to. So let me show you what I'll do about that. I have kind of like a drying station set up here. I'll cross tie him right here. And I'll turn on this fan. I hope you can still hear me with the fan going. I'll let him stand here in front of this fan. It doesn't take very long, 20-30 minutes in front of this fan, and he'll be dry. After he's dry, I'll show you what I do next. There's another part of the regiment that I do before I put him up. So tell me in the comments below, what do you help your horses do to recover after working in this heat? This is my routine that I'm going through. He has been standing in front of the fan for about 45 minutes. I usually let him stand in front of the fan while I work the next horse. And it's probably been 45-50 minutes. And now I brought him back over here. I will take the wraps off. By this time, the ice wraps are going to be down to room temperature. And then I'll show you the rest of the prep that I do that needs to be done before I turn him out. So I took the ice wraps off. As you see, his legs are still dirty from where I didn't rinse them before I put the ice wraps on. So now I'll go ahead and give those a rinse. Get the socks white. So as you see, his nose is a little bit pink. It's not too bad, but it's a little pink. Basically, or mostly what you're looking at is the pink skin under the nose. I need to keep that from getting sunburned. So what I do is I put this stick sunscreen on their nose. It's really easy to apply. And the horses get used to it pretty quick. So every place where there's pink skin, I'll just put some of the sunscreen on. And that's real good about preventing sunburn. Then the other thing, with this heat, along comes flies. So I have this fly spray that's in a roll-on. So I'll take and I'll put one stripe in the ear and one stripe behind the ear. And then we'll go to the other side and do the same thing. This helps with typical gnats that we have this time of the year. One in the ear, one behind the ear. Gnats, ticks, flies, just about all that kind of stuff that we get this time of the year. I'll put links to these two in the description below. That's the best way that I found to keep the nose from sunburning and the best way that I found to keep bugs out of the ears. One more thing that I do, I'd said earlier about the flies bothering the eyes that weep. We've been dry, we've been dusty, and a lot of times the eyes weep. You'll see a little bit of tear flowing down right there. So what I'll do is I'll take this swat. Most everybody has used swat. And I'll just put one stripe under each eye. Make him kind of look like a football player. That helps with the flies from irritating the eyes. I put it under the eye, not over the eye. You don't want it to run into the eye. That helps with the flies so they don't irritate around the eye. Sunscreen helps keep the nose from getting sunburned, and the roll-on fly repellent at the ears helps keep the ears from getting irritated by ticks or flies or whatever. So now he's all dry. He's ready to be put back in a stall or turned out, whichever I do with him. Everybody gets some turnout, and everybody gets some stall time. So that's my routine, what I'm doing with everybody to help them recover after this heat and the bugs and everything that we have this time of the year. Our humidity is real bad in this part of the country, so that's my routine. Tell me in the comments below, what's your routine to help your horses recover after being worked? I have some more videos of him. I've done some lunging videos. I'll put a link up top, and then I have some other training videos. I'll put them up here too. You should be able to find some real good information on how I train and what I do. Until next time, thank you for watching.